you want a second wife? No, I'm going.
99% no. Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mehdi Isa.
I'm Abina.
And together we make
MehdinaTV.
Pizza Hut.
We gotta eat Pizza Hut.
In today's video, we're going to be doing something fun, something we haven't done before. We're going to be opening up about our relationship. What? Why are you looking like that?
So in this video, as you've already probably seen by the title, we're going to be talking about a lot of different topics. It's going to get deep, guys. So Get your popcorn ready, get your drinks ready, and we'll get into the video because it might be a longer video than normal.
Hopefully that's a good thing, guys. If you guys are new to the channel and you like this type of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to get notified every time we post. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
My first question to my husband that a lot of you guys ask me all the time: can you see my face?
No, it's hidden. You can see it's all masked with this veil. I cannot see it. I don't have access to your face. I can never see it. Is that the truth? No, guys. I can see her face. I am her husband. We have made about like a 20-part series on TikTok talking about who could see your face. I know you guys know, the ones who watch those videos. But yes, I am her husband, so I can see her face. I saw her face on the first time on the wedding day. So I did wait to keep it a surprise. But yes, I have seen her face.
What do you think about when people say that you should have seen my face before marriage because it's encouraged in Islam to do so?
Well, that is true. The people who have said that, that is right. That it is strongly encouraged to see the face before marriage, because the reality is, guys, for many of us, physical attraction is a very, very important aspect of a relationship. If you are physically attracted to someone, then you're gonna, show more respect towards your partner, most likely. You're gonna fulfill their needs, for example, including intimacy, respect, treating them well, things like that. So it is very important that you are physically attracted to your partner. For me, I had observed Mobina over a period of like 4 years from working with her in school. So I knew the type of person she was. I knew I wanted to be with her. But if I didn't know you, right, we were going completely into this marriage, it was like an arranged type of scenario, then I would have asked to see your face because like I need something to work with.
But one thing I can tell you is that I would want to see your face before marriage.
That's fair. And a lot of people will want to, I never thought I was going to get married to someone without seeing their face. Like no Christian boy grows up thinking, hey, I'm going to marry some woman and not see her face.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Would you get a second wife?
Ooh.
Now that you're Muslim and you're allowed to.
I think this is the same kind of thought process as the previous one with the face veil, is that you never grow up as someone who's Christian thinking, oh, I can get a second wife. Well, generally speaking, you wouldn't think of that. Now, this is my answer. My short answer is no, I would not ever want to get like a second wife, because people don't realize how much responsibility there is with getting a second wife. You have to treat all of the wives equally. If you get 2, 3, 4 wives, you have to give them, for example, if you buy one a house, you have to buy them all a house. If you're showing a certain affection towards one, you have to do the exact same to all of them. Otherwise, you're accountable for those actions. So it's pretty scary, and I feel like it's something that me as a person would struggle to handle. In addition to that, I feel like you also need to have like a certain level of financial stability to be able to afford that many spaces for that many women, or even for 2, it's a lot. So it's not necessarily easy for
Let's
a lot
not
of us.
forget 2 credit cards.
2 credit cards is a lot of things. Now, I will say this though. If we were in a situation where I was financially well off, I married you and you encouraged me, you're like, I want to have like a sister wife type of scenario where I want you to get married to someone else. And if that was something that would make you happy, then I would consider it more strongly.
What do you mean you consider it?
What? I would. Because it's like, if it's something that I feel, and on top of all of that, it's a lot of ifs. If this situation, if I had a big house.
The fact that you'd consider it.
If my wife wanted.
The fact that you consider it, even if your wife wants it, like, why would you?
I think because in Islam, there's a reason why that exists.
So you want a second wife?
No, I don't want a second wife. I'm saying if all conditions...
You guys heard it right here.
No.
You guys heard it right
if
here.
all conditions were satisfied and my wife wanted me to, then that's something you would be open. You keep your mind open.
Okay. To.
But I think a lot of men would think the same way. A lot of Muslim men, if everything was laid out perfectly, where it's like, this is an ideal situation, I want to get married to a second person, then they could. But my answer in general is no, I would not want a second wife.
I don't think I could ever want a second husband, even if my husband was okay with it, and even if like Islam allowed it.
That's exactly it.
But
Yeah.
you just said you'd be okay with it if your wife wanted it.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you encourage it, all factors were correct, and I felt I could manage it. There's a lot of ifs in there. So generally, probably 99%. No. No. I understand, but no. This is a conversation, guys. If you don't know, this is something that we did discuss before us getting married, that Mobina didn't want me getting a second wife. Well, that was her preference, like, not to, and I didn't want to get one, so it was like a win-win for both, so we're good. She's not happy with my answer.
Do we fight? So you'll hear it here right now. We fight every day. Legit. Sometimes I beat him up.
I think, honestly, what people don't realize is, yeah, like, if you're a couple, like, some couples, they tend to, you know, okay, some couples, they tend to, I guess, argue more than others, but people who think that there's relationships where there's no arguing is not the case. The reality is, guys, there are going to be arguments that happen. There are going to be disagreements that happen. I think one of the challenges we have is, like, we started working together and filming so many videos at the time we got married. So even, like, filming now, we have different styles of making videos, so we often face most of our disagreements when we're actually making these videos. Like, there's so many videos you guys have no idea. You're like, wow, what positive vibes, these are awesome, you guys are so happy, woohoo. And we are, don't get me wrong, alhamdulillah, we are, but it's like, you don't know what happened before the video was created.
Behind the scenes.
The behind the scenes, if you guys,
like
sometimes
when you broke my fan.
Sometimes it gets, well, that wasn't intentional, but sometimes it gets pretty crazy, like, before, and we try to, like, you know, be respectful, but sometimes, like, Mubina gets passionate about video making, I get passionate about certain things, and then we clash.
Guys, if you know, brown people are loud. Did we ever think we would marry someone out of our culture?
Okay.
Me, never. Ever.
Really?
I always thought I was going to get married to a Pakistani guy. Always. My whole life. I grew up thinking I was going to marry a Pakistani guy. And I never in my million years thought that I would get married to a white guy. Like, that was, like, beyond anything I would have ever imagined. I didn't even talk to guys. So, for me, it was like, no. It can't happen. Like, for me, it was going to be like, okay, my parents, y'all choose for me. I've given you that decision because I don't want that headache. So, you guys can go out and choose a guy for me and I'll marry him. And they were probably going to choose a Pakistani guy.
I feel like, to some extent, I'm not, like, super influenced by the culture of, like, say, my dad's side of the family, but to some extent I am familiar with, like, Indian type of Pakistani culture. I've also grown up with friends, so it's not something that's completely foreign to me. So I don't know if I'm categorized exactly as, like, white boy. But for me, I thought personally I was going to marry someone who was, like, maybe European or someone more tied into my culture. And for me, it didn't matter. If I was Christian, right, I could have married someone who was white, black, Hispanic, European, Asian, it doesn't matter as long as they're a Christian or anything really. I could have married someone who was Jewish, Hindu, I don't know. Okay, I was open. I wasn't really thinking of getting married to a Muslim because I never grew up with Muslims and I was kind of Islamophobic before. But yeah, I definitely think that intercultural relationships can work. Sometimes you may have to put a little bit more effort to understand. Like, there's certain things, when I first converted, I had to also not only learn about the religion, but I had to learn about your culture as well. And there's certain things that you have to learn, the etiquettes of what's right and what's wrong, things that you should do, things you shouldn't do. So there's additional challenges, but there's a lot of rewards too. Like, for example, you know, the way your family is, the hospitality they have, the great food you guys have. I would not experience that without marrying someone of a different culture. So on that topic, would you have married me if I was, say, Hispanic or black or Asian or some other race?
I don't think, like, ethnicity ever mattered to me. Like, I didn't even care what you looked like. Age was up there for me above ethnicity or anything. So I don't think that would have changed my mind in any way. Because it was our souls that connected, not our faces, not our looks, not the way we were outside.
Okay.
For me, it was about, like, our personal connection with our spirituality and souls.
All right, guys, here's a juicy question for you, all right? Would you ever take off your hijab or your niqab if I asked you to? She's hesitating. She's
yes.
Like, yes, she would. If I said, hey, take that off right now, you're not wearing that ever again. I'm the man of this house. I tell you not to wear it. You can't wear it anymore.
You're trying to tell me that you don't force me to wear the niqab? If we're being honest here.
I just don't want you to wear it.
Let's be honest here. Okay, let's just tell people how it really is. Like, you actually forced me to wear the niqab.
Yeah, of course I do. There's not even no hesitation.
So
there.
Now that we're being honest, why would you ever tell me to take it off if you're forcing me to wear the niqab?
That's a valid question. Can anyone answer that question? Anyone thinking I force her? We're just kidding, guys. We're just kidding.
I was just kidding. Okay, no. My condition for marriage, my condition was you are never gonna ask me to take my veil off, because that was a deal breaker for me. That would be a deal breaker for me. This is something I spoke to him about before we got married. I don't compromise. Like, I'm not gonna compromise on my values when it comes to me covering myself a certain way. And Islamically, you're not allowed to force me to take it off.
That's what so many people don't realize, guys. Like, I'm not Islamically allowed. Like, it's a sin for me to be like, hey, take that off. Like,
or like, you can't force me to put it on either. Like,
yeah.
it's a controlling type of thing.
Yeah.
You could advise me as your, like, as my husband,
yeah.
and I'd respect you for doing that. Like, if you were my husband and you came and you're like, you know, I'd much rather prefer that you covered yourself when you went out with me. You have your ways. Like, I respect what you do. But, like, this is just something that I would personally want from you. And then I'd be like, you know, my husband is asking me so kindly.
Yeah.
Maybe I should, like, you know, think about it. And that kind of thing.
I think what people kind of mix up is, like, this idea of, like, husband and wife listening to each other versus, like, emotional manipulation. Yeah. I'm not supposed to guilt trip her into wearing it, as a lot of people might think. It's more of, like, you're advising, you're encouraging them, but then you leave it to them to make that decision. It's like, I think Islamically this would be the best thing for you to do. And then you tell them the reasons why you think it's good, and then you leave them to make their decision.
Like, I'll tell you guys something. When I wasn't a hijabi or a niqabi, I was 15 years old, and I thought about getting married, right? And I didn't wear a hijab or a niqab at that time, but I was wondering, like, if my husband ever told me to wear a hijab in a respectful way, then I would consider it. I would. It's just a thing. Like, if I love my husband enough, right? If I have that kind of respect for my husband, what's stopping me from listening to him when it comes to him asking me or requesting me to cover myself for him? Right. I'm not saying this goes for everyone. It's just how I felt and thought personally throughout my life, that this is how it would be with me and my husband. And likewise, like, you know, when we got married, and this is something you guys don't know, because my husband, he didn't cover his head initially in our marriage. You know, I actually requested him that, you know, I cover myself, and I would really like it if you also, you know, wore the kufi, because it's a sunnah to cover the head for men. And he took his time.
I did.
He did take his time. Like, he didn't start right away. He took his time, but he eventually did start when he realized it himself that he wants to do it.
Yeah, it's not just, in addition to that, I learned about the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, how he covered his head. And I want to follow his example in every single way. So, and that includes, like, beard, things like that. So that's why I try to follow the sunnah. And also, Mubina did have conversation with me. She mentioned, like, she never made me feel bad, never made me feel guilty or anything. She just mentioned, you know, like, she's covering herself up. You guys see our earlier videos. She's all covered up. I'm not covering my head or anything like that. And it is a sunnah to do that. So that's what kind of made me think, okay, you know what? She's putting all this effort in. I need to put this effort in too. And I want to be the best Muslim I possibly can be. So I want to do something that, you know, is following the example of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and pleasing my wife at the same time. So what do you think of divorce? And do you think all relationship issues can be resolved without getting a divorce?
It's not about what I think. Islamically speaking, divorce is a right. A woman has the right to divorce. A man has the right to divorce. And if you guys are not compatible, you have the right to get a divorce. It's permissible in Islam. Is it encouraged? No. We're told to, like, make things work. We're told to make things work no matter what. Like, if we're going through a hard time, we should do everything in our power to make it work between us. So you should really, 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 really think about why you want to get divorced before you do. Like, it's a huge thing. Because a lot of people, like, it's very easy to regret it.
Yeah.
So you should do everything in your power to make your marriage work. But if you absolutely tried everything in your power and it doesn't work, then you should think about it, because it's something that is permissible. It's something that can help you in your life in the future. And I know so many women that are in toxic relationships that don't get a divorce because of the taboo in society, that divorce is tabooed, especially in the culture that I come from. Divorce is looked down upon. Women that get divorced are looked down upon, and it's just really sad. Problems can be solved without a divorce, but not all problems. Many people in our comments say, if we separate, he's gonna leave. Like, he's gonna leave Islam. Like, the moment we separate, he's gonna go back to being a Christian. So I want you to clarify, would you do that if we separated?
Firstly, I know what my intention is with my conversion is between me and Allah, to know why I converted. Now, would I convert out if we had, if I left the relationship? Yes. No, I'm kidding. No. I'm not gonna joke like that. No, guys, no. I would, inshallah, I hope I never would want to convert out. I have no intention to convert out. I've never felt as fulfilled as I do now as a Muslim. I feel like my connection with God is the strongest it's ever been. And I have no reason to want to convert out. Marriage was not a deciding factor for me to be Muslim. When I converted, I didn't even know if I was going to get approved for marriage with Mubina's family. It's just like, I'm going to be Muslim. And then a while after, which was a separate event, I said, okay, like, do you want to get married? But she's like, no, I reject you, or my family rejects you. It's like, okay, cool. I'm still Muslim. I'm still going to follow Islam. I did it because I believed in my heart that Islam is the truth, and my faith, alhamdulillah, has grown stronger and stronger each and every day. And I feel like I'm feeling more and more that Islam is the truth every single day. I feel very firm in my faith, and I want to continue growing in that direction. So I feel like there's nothing that would want to take me away from that.
So you don't regret your decision at all?
Zero.
Well, that was a very honest Q&A, and if you guys made it this far in the video, you guys are awesome.
You guys are amazing. Comment Chewbacca if you made it this far in the video.
I definitely enjoyed this video. I really did.
Me too.
If you guys enjoyed it, please hit the like button, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you have already subscribed, we love you guys a lot.
And guys, we want to give our first and special shout out to our patrons in our Discord. Guys, thank you so much for all your support. We appreciate it so much. If you guys want to have your name shouted out on our videos, be sure to sign up to our Patreon. It's the price of a coffee, and you get unlimited access to our Discord. You get all kind of Discord benefits. We have different topics in there. We're talking about Islam. We have men and women's chats. We got reverse chats. We got pet chat. We just recently introduced a new cooking channel where inshallah we will be cooking some recipes from there. You guys give video suggestions, and you can chat one-on-one with us. So be sure to sign up, guys. We'd love to have you as part of the Medina TV family.
Until next time,
Assalamu alaikum.